Everyone wants to copy Singapore. But can they? This tiny city-state went from developing to first world in a single generation, becoming a global benchmark for urban planning, clean governance, and economic strategy. Today, we're exploring 10 countries trying to pull off their own Singapore. Can the magic be bottled, or is it a one-of-a-kind story? Let's find out. First stop, Rwanda, often called the Singapore of Africa. Under President Kagame, Rwanda has transformed, with Kigali now famous for its spotless streets and monthly community cleanups, just like Singapore's anti-littering campaigns. The government is digitizing services and cracking down on corruption, aiming for efficiency and reliability. Rwanda's ambition is to build a society where things simply work, inspired by Singapore's model. Of course, Rwanda's history and challenges are unique, but the drive to replicate Singapore's success is clear. They're building their own version of the dream, one clean street at a time. Next, the United Arab Emirates, where ambition meets the desert. Dubai and Abu Dhabi saw Singapore's economic leap and decided to become global hubs for finance, tourism, and logistics. The UAE is building smart cities like Masdar and automating transport, taking Singapore's urban tech to the next level. They're reforming laws, attracting foreign talent, and positioning themselves as a stable business haven. The challenge shifting from oil to a knowledge economy, but the blueprint is pure Singapore. The UAE's future-forward cities are a bold attempt to recreate Singapore's success in the sands. China, a giant, has long studied tiny Singapore. Deng Xiaoping admired Singapore's mix of economic dynamism and social order, inspiring China's special economic zones like Shenzhen. Singapore's influence is seen in China's urban planning, public housing, and anti-corruption drives. The message, a clean, efficient state, drives progress. Of course, China's scale is massive, but the core lesson comes straight from Singapore's playbook. The little red dot has shaped the world's most populous nation. In Kazakhstan, the capital Nur-Sultan is aiming to be Central Asia's financial gateway. The Astana International Financial Center is modeled on Singapore's trusted legal and regulatory systems. It's not just about skyscrapers, it's about creating a safe, predictable environment for global investors. Kazakhstan wants to pivot from oil to finance and tech, signaling to the world it's serious about global standards. The challenges are real, but the Singapore model is their guide. They're building a Singapore of the Silk Road. India's Smart Cities mission is a massive effort to bring Singaporean-style planning to 100 cities. Singapore has helped design cities like Amaravati, focusing on green spaces and efficient infrastructure, the goal order and sustainability amid rapid growth. India's scale and complexity make this a monumental challenge, but Singapore's expertise is the gold standard. The dream is to blend Indian vibrancy with Singaporean efficiency. Can India's cities become the next urban success stories? Vietnam, once racked by turmoil, now looks to Singapore as a roadmap for prosperity. Vietnamese officials study Singapore's economic management, foreign investment strategies, and urban planning. The aim: move up the value chain and avoid the middle-income trap. Vietnam's challenges are unique, but the ambition to become the next Asian tiger is unmistakable. They're following Singapore's map with focus and energy. Saudi Arabia's vision. 2030 is a bold plan to move beyond oil, inspired by Singapore's transformation. The kingdom is building futuristic cities like Neom and investing in logistics to become a global crossroads. Special economic zones and diversification echo Singapore's playbook. The scale is immense, and the social transformation is profound. But the ambition is to reinvent Saudi Arabia's place in the world, just as Singapore did. Nigeria, Africa's most populous nation, faces huge challenges, but looks to Singapore for inspiration. The focused, clean governance, efficient infrastructure, and a system where business can thrive. Lagos State, for example, has adopted more systematic planning, citing Singapore as a model. Nigeria's complexity is daunting, but the hope is that visionary leadership can bring Singaporean-style progress. For many, Singapore represents proof that even the most complex nations can change. Malaysia and Singapore, siblings, rivals, and partners. Malaysia's Iskandar project aims to compete with and complement Singapore, attracting investment and talent. Singapore is both a competitor and a major investor, showing that success is regional, not just national. The relationship is a mix of rivalry and collaboration, lifting both countries. It's a unique case of direct partnership in the Singapore model. Indonesia is building a new capital, Nusantara, inspired by Singapore's city in a garden. The vision, a green, smart, sustainable city that leapfrogs Jakarta's problems. Indonesian planners have studied Singapore's urban design and green tech. It's a massive challenge, but the goal is to create a 21st century capital with Singaporean DNA. When building a new heart for the nation, Indonesia looked to Singapore for inspiration. From Rwanda to Saudi Arabia, the Singapore model inspires nations worldwide. But copying Singapore isn't simple. Each country faces unique challenges of scale, history, and politics. Singapore's success came from specific circumstances: small size, strategic location, and visionary leadership. The real task is adapting its principles to local realities, not just copying the blueprint. These nations are using Singapore as a compass, not a map. The ambition to try is itself a force for change. Which country do you think will come closest to Singapore's achievements? Let us know in the comments.